Hello Nistas and Nistas, how are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista. She is I and I am her, and over here we do mainly things fragrances. And today, you guys, we are talking about fragrances, but we're going to shift roles just a little bit. So today I want to share with you some samples that I have received over time when making purchases, and they are all male dominant. So if you're interested in hearing all about it, please stay tuned. So it's housekeeping time. Yes, it's only a request, not a demand. So if you're here and you like what you see and hear, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, share the video out. If you're new and you want to be a part of the nation, all you have to do is subscribe. So we're going to get right into this content, you guys. So I have about 7 fragrances that I want to share with you. We're going to leave this at initial thoughts. So this is like my initial thoughts. Yes, I have probably spritzed or sprayed a few of these fragrances. So much so to I have contemplated on buying like 2 of them for myself. So these are fragrances that are listed on these particular fragrance house websites as male fragrances, and I do think that quite a few of them are more masculine than they are feminine. So we're going to start with the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and that is the house, of course, that created the infamous Baccarat Rouge, but they do have other great scents. And this is one that I want to start with. This is the La Rose Homme, and Homme, that is man in French. So this is their fragrance. I'm going to leave a picture of it so you can kind of see it, but I will share the fragrance notes with you. The fragrance notes, it is classified as a woody fragrance. The notes are grapefruit, clary sage, centifola rose, amber woods, and damascena rose. So this is a rose fragrance, and it's supposed to be male dominated. And honestly, you guys, when I first smelled this rose, I was in Saks, I never shall forget, and I sampled this rose and the female rose, the female rose, and believe it or not, if I had, or if I wanted to purchase one of them and I contemplated on purchasing this, I would purchase the Homme, the one for men, because it just has a deeper, spicier fragrance to me. And I am getting to the point, there's no in between with rose with me. It either has to be that deep, spicy type of rose, or it has to be that real subtle type of rose like you get in the Chance rose. But this is a really nice rose, and I do think that this is a nice fragrance to be classified as unisex, although they do have one for females. I think that this is a really nice fragrance for gentlemen to wear in the spring and summer for a gentleman. But if I purchased this for myself, this would definitely be one of my fall or winter roses as a female. But it is a very beautiful rose. So again, this is Rose Homme by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. All right, the next fragrance is also from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is Amorous Homme, and this does come in a femme as well. This is a fragrance that I remember when I bought my second bottle of Baccarat Rouge. I had learned that you could go to the Paris site and you can get it for like $60 or $70. I think once, you know, it balanced out the 60 or 70, it was like a $60 or $70 savings if you ordered it from their site. Here recently, probably over the last 6 or 7 months, they changed that. So we now have a US site. And this was one of the samples that I got when I got my second bottle. And when I got the second bottle, I also got the body cream with it. But this was one of the ones that I got, and it is really nice. And I have gotten other ones too, and I have worn this from time to time. But the fragrance notes in Amorous Homme is mandarin from Sicily, rosemary, saffron, Amyris, cedar from Virginia, tonka bean from Brazil and Venezuela, and Iris. It's the Iris in here for me. Definitely the Iris. And I do like the saffron. I can't necessarily say that I can pick up the rosemary, and I'm one of those type of people, even with fragrances, there are certain spices that I really enjoy in my food and in the kitchen while cooking, and rosemary is one of those. So I do have a nose for it, but I'm not really picking it up in here. This is another one of their own fragrances that I think could be very femme or unisex. Not very femme, let's just say unisex. It is a very musky, soft type of woody fragrance, if that makes any sense. So it has like this musky woodiness to it, and it's good, you guys. The saffron in here, it is popping, and it is really nice. And like I said, I have had several samples of this, and I have worn it, and it wears really well with my body chemistry. But it's nice. I really like this one too. So in regards to a gentleman, it's hard for me to really say how well I like this on a gentleman, because believe it or not, he's my yin, I'm his yang, he's my kryptonite, and vice versa. But it's something about in this fragrance world, because there are things that he has purchased and bought me without my requesting it or input, and there are things that I have purchased him, and he's the type of person he will wear anyway, you know, even if but sometimes he will say, I don't like that. So we are not very compatible in the fragrance world. Now everywhere else, we 100 grand. But the fragrance thing, and I think it's just because he's more of a designer type of fragrance guy, and I'm heavy, deep into that niche world. Because even with Bun, I know he would always say, I just don't get the hype behind this. Why are you so into this? I don't get it. I don't get it. But I don't really have a lot of input with these fragrances that I'm here to share with you, because he's not real favorable of them. But as for me, this is good. And I think it would smell really nice on a gentleman. This is also more of a spring, summer forward type of male fragrance, in my opinion. All right, so the next one is from the house of Montel. So Montel is the funny style bottle that a lot of people don't like. I don't own any Montels, but I don't have anything against the bottle. I think that it is very unique, and I think it's cool. So the fragrance is wood and spices. The fragrance notes are ebony, sandalwood, vetiver, incense notes, cardamom, and spices. And this is full on male. This is some strong stuff. This is really strong. But Montel is known to have very explosive, rich, deep type of fragrances. And this is definitely one of those type. I definitely pick up the vetiver. I am newly in love with this vetiver thing, because it gives me like this cannabis vibe, and those incense notes in here, they are extremely heavy, and the spiciness, because I'm getting a little moisture now from my nostrils because it's causing it to run. But this is a very male forwarded fragrance. If your gentleman is that type of guy that wants to smell super woody, super rugged, this is definitely that type of fragrance. It is not a fresh forward fragrance. It is definitely heavy, woody, and spicy. So again, this is Montel's Wood and Spices. So the next fragrance is from my favorite house, and this is from the house of Bun number 9, and this fragrance is Lafayette Street. So that's a picture of it. I received this purse size when I bought my trio from Bun number 9, and normally when you spend $500 or more Bun number 9, they are, whenever you make any purchase, you're going to be gifted 3 of the Bun Buns of your choice. But they normally give you a really nice gift when you spend. I've gotten a really nice mask. I've gotten this purse size, and it was 3 of them actually in that gift set. I've gotten this really cool map, you know, like a laminated map that I'm keeping for keepsakes when I do actually go to a storefront in Bun. That's on my bucket list, and I hope it comes sooner than later. So I'm holding on tight to that. What else have I gotten for Bun? Oh, I've gotten one of those little green baggies, and it's bigger than the one that's 1 for 2, but you can put up to like 2 or 3 little fragrances in it, and God only knows where it is. But this is one of the ones that I got in that purse size or travel size gift set. Lafayette Street was one of those fragrances. So the fragrance notes in Lafayette Street are bergamot, coriander, fresh floral, ambroxan, homme, which is like a green apple note, vanilla, dry wood, tonka bean, and gray amber. And this is a Bun that I don't have in my collection, and I don't see it changing that I would have it in my collection. It's a beautiful fragrance for a gentleman, in my opinion. This is just a bit too strong and masculine for me. But I have saw some content creators mix this with other fragrances, and they were females that really like this. But this is definitely one of those Bun fragrances that has a more masculine edge to it. I don't really pick up anything but bergamot. I can't necessarily say that I smell some florals in it unless they're like some deep florals that I'm just not picking up. I do pick a little of the dry wood, and I do get just a little bit tardiness from an apple note. But had I not known that, it probably wouldn't register in my head. But it's definitely a really nice fragrance. I even had my hubby to wear it one time before. He didn't say much about it. He just put it on and went on with his normal day. So if he didn't talk much about it, I wouldn't say he didn't like it, but maybe he just wasn't feeling it at the time. So again, this is Lafayette Street by Bun number 9. Now the next fragrances that I am going to talk about, they all come from the same house. And I want to thank my SA. They could be so sweet sometimes. Well, most of the time my SAs are really, really sweet. And I really do appreciate them, because I have gotten a full on, I wouldn't say in every aspect, but for the most part, I get quite a bit of exposure from them just sharing different fragrance houses with me when I purchase fragrances from them. So I am thankful for that. So these next 3 fragrances are all going to come from the house of Parfums de Marley. And these are male forwarded fragrance, but in my opinion, one of them I do want to add to my collection because I am really vibing with it. So the first one that I want to share is Greenley. And you can tell by the bottles that they come in. They come very different. They have like their own signature bottle, like the female fragrances come, like the Delinas and the Arianas. And they come in their own signature type bottle. So I do still have the cards that these came in. And it gives a really nice description. But I'm going to just share with you the fragrance notes. So the fragrance notes in Greenley are Sicilian bergamot, mandarin, green apple, cashmere wood. The hard notes are cedar wood, petitgrain, violet, and Amorous. And the base notes are oak moss, musk, amber wood. And it also lets you know the best time to wear it. Well, their recommendations for the best time to wear it is during spring and summer for a walk into the woods. All right, so here's Greenley. So we're gonna get our fragrance strip. This is nice. This, in my opinion, and not to downplay it in any form, but to me, this smells like some really good deodorized soap. Let me see. Like the original Irish Spring, and I'm not saying that it smells exactly like that, but it definitely gives you that type of deodorizing soap vibe. Smells really nice. I have no complaints about it. I noticed that even when just doing research, looking at different male fragrances, apple is a very common note in male fragrances, just as well as bergamot. But bergamot, I think it has a balance over male and female. But this is really nice. I really like this fragrance. You definitely get that oak moss and that musk note. But to sum it up, This smells like a very expensive deodorizing soap. So let's just take Irish Spring and put it on like 100. And that's what you get with Parfums de Marley Greenley. It's nice. Okay, so the next one is Kalan. And Kalan comes in this very beautiful red bottle. So let's clear my palette. So I share with you guys most of the time when I'm doing like a fragrance sampling, I keep one of these that I don't ignite or burn until I can get another one in my collection. But this is the Paris Cafe. This is straight coffee, very, very heavy. You can even smell like the ground dirtiness part of it of coffee. So I use that to clear. Okay, so let's give Kalan a spritz. This is good. This is sandalwood dominance on this card. I'm getting sandalwood, and y'all know I love me a sandalwood. So let's talk about the notes. The top notes are blood orange, black pepper, spices. The heart notes are lavender, solar notes, orange blossom. The base notes are precious wood, oak moss, white sandalwood, and the best time to wear according to Parfums de Marley is fall and winter. The perfect scent for a festive season. And look at the bottom, very festive. But this is good, you guys. I don't pick up any of that orange blossom, and it's probably because it's on this little strip. So, you know, fragrances are subjective, but these little strips, they don't really give us full on, well, don't give me a full on description. And you know that goes without saying. And paper, body chemistry, and skin, that's two totally different elements. But I am getting that real heavy sandalwood, and I like it. I really do like this. This is nice. So again, this is Kalan by Parfums de Marley. And last but definitely not least, this is Laytone Exclusif. You know, Parfums de Marley, I love the Exclusif. So Laytone is an exclusive, so there is an original, just like with Delina. You have Delina Exclusif. And I do think that there is a fan base for, you know, the regular and the exclusive, or, you know, straight versions. And same, you know, Delina, I prefer the exclusive over the regular. But this, I really can't make a comparison because I've never smelled the Laytone. I can only imagine that it is very similar to this. But this is the one that I have played around with more so on my skin, and it is nice. It's really, really nice. I have contemplated adding this to my actual fragrance collection when I will get emails saying that this place was having a sale or whatever. But let's talk about the fragrance notes. The fragrance notes are top bergamot, grapefruit, and apple. The heart notes are geranium, cinnamon, lavender, and agar wood. The base notes are cypress, gaiac wood, patchouli, and vanilla. And according to Parfums de Marley, the best time to wear is fall and winter for an elegant evening. So this is like formal, black tie, maybe even date night. But they say in the fall and winter. All right, so let me get my clean strip here just to refresh my mind. This is so good. This is good. This is one of those fragrances that you can pick up more than a few of the fragrance notes off this card, but it's probably stuck in my head because, like I said, I have played around with it. But the way that this opens up, it is like a really nice tarty situation going on because you have that apple, that bergamot, and that grapefruit at the top. But when this balance out, you get that creamy patchouli, like a vanilla and a patchouli mixed in together. And I really think that that's what I like about this. Also, I can pick up that little spin of lavender with that geranium. This is good. So I had like 2 or 3 of these, and I made it through one because I've been playing around with it, and it is really nice. I would be really interested to experience or smell the original Laytone, but this is nice. And I have seen a few ladies do a review on the Laytone as a fragrance that they have as a part of their collection. So I think that this may be really female favorable to some of us ladies. But all of these fragrances, I think that they probably would smell really nice on a gentleman. I definitely like that Lafayette on my husband. I have smelled that on him before, but the other ones I've only played around with and sampled myself. And like I say, just sometimes we have to learn how to step out of our box. And I just think my husband, I don't know if he hasn't developed a nose or a liking for more niche brand fragrances, because all of these fragrances were niche brand fragrances, and he's just kind of like in his little set way with the designer brand fragrances. But I would recommend getting your nose on these, especially those ones from Parfums de Marley. They have some really nice male fragrances, and I have sampled like the whole collection while in store. So I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. If you have any comments, questions, please leave those below. And do not forget, you, yes you are great. Bye-bye.